Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for our fortnightly members forum. We have our guest presenter back again, Tyson Wallace. He's over from the corporate office, and he has been currently, or for a while now, obviously learning a lot about CBD products, the Morinda CBD products, and so we wanted to bring him along to help us understand CBD products more, understand the benefits in the Morinda CBD products, and also what's, I guess, coming for us in the future. So right now, obviously, CBD products are not available in Morinda, Australia, New Zealand. So we don't have them in here. When we receive them, obviously they'll be compliant for Australia, New Zealand regulatory requirements. So there could be some changes to the product that we currently have in the US, which is perfectly fine. Obviously, they will go all efforts to make sure that the product's delivering what we need it to deliver. And so when that comes through, then we'll have a product on the ground. So Tyson's here to give us a bit of an idea what it's all about, that you can order it for personal use if you want to trial it in the meantime, and help prepare us for when we officially launch the product. So Tyson, I'm going to pass it over to you. Thanks very much for joining us again.
You're welcome. Thank you. I always get super nervous, and then I'm happy to be here. So yeah, let's see. Make sure I can do this right. Okay. Can you see the presentation by chance? Oh, did I lose you? Are you still there, Sarah? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So everything's
there. I hear you. Can you see my presentation okay?
Yeah, we can see it.
Understanding CBD, big words?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't tell. I can't tell from my end. So, okay, we're good. Okay, so yes, thank you for having me. Let me just jump right in. I'm going to start with a little bit of a disclaimer. Just to let you guys know, CBD is like so new, at least as a consumer product. And so it's still gaining some regulatory traction, I guess, as here in the U.S. and obviously, as Sarah pointed out, in Australia there might be there's some regulatory concerns. So as we're gaining an understanding of CBD and the benefits that CBD has, there will be more changes every day. It's amazing to me in just a few months that I've been researching this and understanding it. One day something will be allowed and the next day it won't be. It's constantly changing. So this presentation is as up to date as I could make it, and a lot of it has something to do with mostly about the endocannabinoid system. But I will talk about some of the benefits that is regularly accepted in the CBD world. And also, I just want to point out that the products I'm going to be showing you and talking about are the US products. Currently, we are producing some formulas for Australia and New Zealand, and hopefully you guys will have more information about that soon. So we're working to get you guys CBD products as soon as possible. But to begin, I'd like to introduce us all to the endocannabinoid system. I'll try and make this brief. It's somewhat scientific, but so the endocannabinoid system, or ECS, is a system that works to create a balance, a homeostasis throughout your body. That is the entire goal of this system. The cannabinoid molecules locate instabilities within the body, anything that's kind of off with your system, and trigger the brain to respond. The endocannabinoid system is part of most other systems found throughout the body, including the gastrointestinal system, the respiratory system, the circulatory and nervous systems, the reproductive system, and within the bone and muscle structures of our body. It also works heavily in the immune system, but its primary efforts are in the nervous system, particularly the brain. In other words, the endocannabinoid system is found throughout your entire body, but it is particularly present in the nervous system. The ECS has an effect in areas such as reproduction, digestion, sleep, motor control, pain management. That's one of the bigger ones that is the primary reason that people like CBD. Whether you use CBD products or not, though, your body is using cannabinoids already. You have these molecules in your body right now. The cannabinoid molecules are found elsewhere in nature, but can be placed, so we place them in two different families, endocannabinoids and phytocannabinoids. Endocannabinoids are molecules developed by the human body, particularly from the brain, and these are the ones that are found in your body right now. Phytocannabinoids develop in plants, especially in the cannabis species. There are currently 5 identified endocannabinoids, the ones found in your body, but there's also over 100 phytocannabinoids found in plants. And these cannabinoids are working to create homeostasis in your body. Of the 5 cannabinoids in the human body, found in the human body, currently the brain produces 2 that are best described as anandamide and 2-AG, which has a longer name, but I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. These molecules are often called the blissful molecules because they stimulate joy when they interact with brain receptors. So these molecules are going throughout your body, and when they interact with your brain receptors or your nervous system, they create that feeling of joy. Anandamide in particular is interesting as it is not only produced in our body, but it can also be found in chocolate, which might explain why chocolate is so enjoyable. These molecules do, however, break down quickly, which is why we aren't in a perpetual state of bliss. We aren't constantly feeling that joy because these molecules break down in our bodies. Now, phytocannabinoids, or the cannabinoids found in plants, also produce joy, but they can be much stronger. There are over 100 of these found, but 2 of the most understood are THC and CBD. These 2 cannabinoids are found in the cannabis species and are generally accepted to be incredibly beneficial for health purposes. THC is the major player in the controversial side of marijuana use. This cannabinoid is what produces the psychoactive effects, which can result in other negative side effects, including poor judgment. This molecule can make the body feel extremely relaxation and joy, and it continually interacts with multiple systems throughout the body. However, THC can overstimulate the receptors of the brain and cause damage to our system. Our brains will also have decreased sense of judgment as a result of THC responding so strongly with our brain receptors. As a result, there are many side effects, both positive and negative, including fatigue, hunger, altered mental status. That's the psychoactive effect that you can get from THC. CBD is also found in cannabis and is very similar to THC, except is far less controversial because it does not have the psychoactive effect. It interacts with your cell receptors, your brain receptors, but it doesn't bind with them like THC does. THC has a much stronger hold on the brain receptors, making people have a high effect, but CBD doesn't bind with them so strongly. And so it still creates a calming, joyful effect without altering your mental state. In fact, when consumed by itself, CBD naturally increases the endocannabinoids, the ones your brain already produces. It increases the amounts you have, and it protects your endocannabinoid system. So as a result, there's a lot of positive effects to CBD. And there's potential negative effects, but those are still being researched and being understood, and that's why there is some controversy as to allowing this product to be in commercial use. So one thing I want to point out that before I move on a little bit here is that there are different types of CBD in consumer products, and here's where the differences are. When hemp is put through an initial extraction process, the result is considered full spectrum. This means that it is as close to the product hemp produces as possible. It contains a large number of cannabinoids. Remember, there's over 100 of them in there, and other compounds, at least in trace amounts. And it's preferred by holistic wellness practitioners as it provides a more total intrinsic wellness rather than a focused one. There are a lot of potential health benefits that we can get from having the full spectrum of things that are cannabinoids found in cannabis. Now, obviously, there is some controversy because of the THC levels. And we want to make sure that we keep the THC levels down so there isn't a psychoactive effect or negative effects. But in some countries, there's regulatory restrictions that say that has to be even less than 0.3%, which is what is allowed in the US. And so in some for our purposes, we try and remove the THC, and these products are considered to be called broad spectrum. We've taken out as much of the THC as possible and left as much of the rest of the cannabinoids in the final product. And that's what is used to make other products. That's what we consider broad spectrum. Now, there's one other thing that is called isolate. Now, the isolate is basically when we remove the CBD from the full spectrum product. We just take out the CBD and we use that CBD by itself. It's exactly what it sounds, the extraction of CBD from full spectrum CBD, using that pure CBD in consumer products. This is the compound that is most often considered a controlled substance because it is registered as one, and it's usually used to help kids who have epilepsy control seizures. We try to avoid isolate, at least here in the US, one, because the full spectrum is preferable, but it's also because we don't want to conflict with pharmaceuticals. Interestingly, noni has phytocannabinoids. It also contains the cannabinoids that, in fact, it's these molecules in noni that work with receptors in the immune system. This is what gives noni its anti-inflammatory and immunity boosting qualities. There's also research being done right here in our R&D department that shows that noni slows down the breakdown of the cannabinoids in your body already. So we have these endocannabinoids in our bodies. They break down easily. Noni actually prevents them from breaking down so quickly. It'll help us maintain homeostasis or more balance in our systems. I think it's fantastic. I'm so excited about the research documents that our R&D is putting together. So yeah, let's talk briefly about cannabis. Cannabis sativa is the most common strain of cannabis. It's been cultivated throughout history for a number of different purposes. Marijuana and hemp come from the exact same cannabis sativa species. The reason marijuana and hemp are considered different is in their chemical composition. 0.3% THC level or below is what we consider hemp. However, if it has higher than that, they consider it marijuana. And those are usually used for recreational purposes and in most places is illegal. But hemp, at least in the US, is legal. And that's why we use it here to make CBD products, or there's other things that people do with hemp products, paper, and all sorts of other stuff. So yeah, let's see. So why is Morinda so interested in CBD? Why are we talking about this? Let's just say it straight. Morinda is strongly interested in CBD products, plain and simple. Morinda is a health beverage company. Noni revolutionized the health beverage industry. Noni was new and exciting, and CBD is exactly that today. It can be even more powerful when combined with noni, as I mentioned in the previous slide about the research that's going into the CBD noni products. It's new, it works, and it's exciting. It's going to revolutionize the health beverage industry. We need to be involved. That's why we're going after this. It has an increased interest worldwide. It also has strong sales, and it will grow, particularly in the direct selling market. You can see there, direct selling market is expected to increase over the next 2 to 3 years. So the Morinda products. While we know that noni plus CBD will be great, we are waiting to do a large release of any CBD beverages until regulations are a little more clear. But for now, we can get our foot into the CBD world with our CBD topical line. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Jumped ahead there. Yeah, these products are being used as the foundation to build up our noni plus CBD products. Now, please again remember that these products are the US version. A formula for Australia and New Zealand are currently being worked on. But just to give you an idea of what we've developed so far, I'll start with the CBD oil. This is a pure oil. There's no other contaminants or anything. This is CBD full spectrum oil. It contains 500 milligrams of CBD. It is topical use, and it is full spectrum, so it contains more than just the CBD. But it doesn't contain any other oils, like the roll-on gel, which I'll talk about in just a second. Next, we have the CBD body cream. It is a rich, soft, velvety lotion with 150 milligrams of CBD. And it feels great on the skin, and it has a really nice smell to it as well, a nice scent. And finally, we have our CBD roll-on gel. This is a great way to place CBD on a focused area of the body. This contains 200 milligrams of CBD, and it's usually used, people apply it wherever they might feel some kind of pain or discomfort, but it can be used anywhere topically. So just getting out there, a couple of frequently asked questions that we have. First off, is it legal? That varies from market to market. In fact, in the US, it even varies from state to state. Some areas allow it, while others require a doctor's prescription. Some areas consider it a controlled substance, while others are more accepting to it. But legislation is also constantly being pushed through to clarify the laws. There's also a strong push to make CBD products legal here in the US, and other countries will likely follow suit. Second question, is it dangerous? Simply no, it isn't. There may be adverse effects, but it's important to speak with your doctor, and it isn't recommended for kids or pregnant or nursing mothers. We just think it needs to, until more understanding of CBD products, as more research comes out, we'll have a better understanding of who it's safe for. Is it addictive? It is not considered addictive because it does not produce an excessive release of dopamine. It's actually being considered as a means to kick addictions. There's a bunch of research documentation out there that supports this theory. And how does noni affect the endocannabinoid system? As I talked about, it slows the breakdown of endocannabinoids, and it increases the amount of cannabinoids in the body. You're going to have more of these molecules going throughout your body, almost like a supplement. We're going to increase the amount of cannabinoids, and these things are going to go throughout the body, finding instabilities, and trigger the brain to try and correct those instabilities, try and create that balance. So yeah, that's the CBD market and CBD world. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can.
Yeah, let's put up the chat box. Got quite a few people on here, so we'll see if we've got any questions that anyone would like to ask.
It's exciting.
This is where we all get nervous. No.
Is you get nervous or me?
I think I'm nervous for you. No, guys, there should be a chat box up there. I'll put something in there.
Should I be able to see that?
Yeah, I think so. Hang on.
Maybe I need to click on something.
I've just put up a question there. Maybe take down your presentation.
Oh, right. How do I, oops, let's see, how do I do that? Did I do that there?
I think so.
Probably not.
Guys, if you can see the question box there. Hopefully. I've sent that to everyone, so it should be up on the screen. Okay. Can you see the question box, Tyson?
I can't, but I must have clicked something, or I shared, or whatever. Is it possible just to read the questions and answer it?
Yeah, well, the other thing I can do is
wait, maybe this, no, that's not. I'm just not sure where to click, that's all. I don't want to cut off if I click the wrong button.
Yeah. I'm just going to unmute. Annie, I've unmuted you here. I'm not sure if you've got a microphone. Do you have any questions, just to test if anyone else can see this chat box up here?
Yeah, I do. I just want to know whether TGA will let this go ahead in Australia. As you know, like I was talking to the other day, Sarah, that they had a company called HealthWorks from the US, and they were actually had products coming into Australia 12 months ago, and TGA, once they got wind of it, they were coming in, they actually shut down the whole company.
Yeah.
And
That's why we haven't put anything through. We've been looking into it and trying to make sure that the CBD source has all the proper documentation, but also is meeting those requirements. That's why these products that I've shown you here are the US version. We have different regulations going on here. So as much as we would love to be able to just ship it over there, we don't want to take any risks. We don't want to take any chances of getting shut down or stopped in any way. So we're just being cautious. We're trying to develop the proper formula for Australia regulations.
Right.
So Tyson, can I just ask another question? So with the product that we're currently getting from the US, like I said to Sarah, we've got quite a large organisation because we come from the hemp industry, and we've got over thousands of people who are wanting this oil right now. And I've been approached by other companies illegally to sell their product, which I won't. But because we have the US version, they are still a bit nervous about going ahead promoting Morinda's product because it still has a certain amount of THC in it. So we're just wondering that, are we going to be in the same situation as what HealthWorks had happened, is you sign up 1,000 people, all of a sudden you get shut down by the TGA in the interim before you actually get that particular formula that will be changed for the Australian market?
Well, I mean, if you're bringing it through personal use, I mean, if HealthWorks launched that as a product here in Australia, that's a different scenario because they've launched the product. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, Tyson, whether you know anything about the HealthWorks, but if HealthWorks officially launched a product and sold it in Australia as though it was an Australian product and it was illegal, then that makes sense for them to have been closing that down. We're not.
Sure.
That's why we have to put our disclosures and everything on that from the Australian part, is that, you know, we aren't selling. Morinda Australia is not selling CBD product.
It shouldn't be. It's not for resale,
right? Personal use. It's not for resale. It's personal use.
Okay. So the recommendation for the oil, how would you recommend that if I was to actually say to another person who wants to use it for personal use? How would they take the oil?
Well, these are for topical use. That's how we've designed these products.
So purely you can rub oil on your skin or whatever.
Yep, just a drop or two wherever you would like to apply it. That's what it's for.
Am I allowed to say, put a little bit on your finger and rub it on your gums?
I mean, it's topical use. That's what I've got. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you rub it on your gums, it's going to be ingested internally anyway, but I'm not breaking the law by saying that.
I'm not sure about Australian regulations. I just know that we are specifically designed this for topical use. So that's what we're going with. So. Okay, fair enough. Sorry.
It's probably a question that we need to investigate further, any with regulatory so much more than Tyson. Like, Tyson's obviously got a good wealth of knowledge of CBD, but he's not actually working on the Australian regulatory department side of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's another team that does regulatory for us, and that's probably the team that we would try to reach out with, and also obviously just the authorities in Australia. You know, we can try and ask those sort of questions.
Okay. So at the moment, we can purchase 3 of those products from the US on a daily basis if we would like.
Well, as they're all their personal use orders, so as long as they're shipped over as personal use, you know, if you've got a different customer that wants to order product, well, that's a personal use order.
Okay, so if I have 1,000 people who are all daily use customers, not a problem with getting the product into Australia?
Well, if they're all individual orders.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Everyone, it just happens at 1,000 people, and I guess it probably seems bigger because it seems like it's just you doing it. But in the grand scheme of things, what's the difference of just 1,000 people? And 1,000 people in Australia is not a lot of people, is it? If you were, correct. Yeah. Yeah. It just seems a lot when it's saying that's one person's talking that number. Yeah.
Yes.
I can understand the nervousness behind it.
Yep, I understand. Got it.
Mm.
I'm happy with those answers.
I think the CBD products, Nola, I meant they wanted to have them out on Friday. Tyson, I don't know if you know any different, but I spoke to Cody yesterday. He said if they didn't get them out on Friday, they were going out Monday this week. Have you heard any more, Tyson?
I know they were working on the assembly line on Friday, getting it ready to be shipped out. If Cody said they weren't out by Friday, he had a little bit more information than I did, so I assume they went out today, which is Monday here. End of the day. I've not checked up on that, but I can.
Yeah. And Annie, that might be a good thing to watch that first shipment come through.
Okay, well, also want to know, because it's going into New Zealand as well. Now, I have got business contacts in New Zealand. So, Sarah, as you know, when I'm trying to order this product at the moment, yesterday, as you know, with Lindsay, and we couldn't order it online, so I had to ring the office. So will that be the same with New Zealand? They will actually have to ring the office to place an order? So you're not going
to, that's in the sign-up process. So if somebody wants to set up have their own account, to sign up, you need to sign up in the Australia New Zealand office because that's where they are.
Okay.
And you could sign up online, right? But if you're going on an order ship, it's going to want you to put Australian product in there.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So so you would need to just do it over the phone, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we'll do, because most of the people I'm talking to at this stage are only looking at the CBD oil products.
Mm.
So
that is the popular one. We have more of that than the others, but I think since it's been new, a lot of people have been purchasing the package deal, one of each of them. So
yeah, correct.
Yeah, I think anyway, we'll get these first ones let them come through, let you receive yours as well. I think that's going to give us some confidence in obviously just making sure they're coming through well, just through the postal system as they are for personal use. And we just keep feeding the information as soon as we get it as well.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions that they wanted to ask? I know Nola put one up there.
I did find the chat, by the way. Likely there will be delays of a few weeks for future deliveries.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to be able. We have, at least with the U.S. version, these ones that you'll be able to use for personal use. We are already getting ready for the next order, and we've got a system set up that we shouldn't have any delays.
Yeah.
The Australia New Zealand version, I'm pretty sure they've been able to say September is the goal, and I am not aware of any delays at this point. So I just know our R&D team is working heavily on getting it done. So
yeah, I think Nola, just initially that first order was because they wanted to get it launched out there, but they didn't have the product considered ready for that day, and so it just has been that launch product that has been delayed. After this, now they have the inventory. I mean, that doesn't mean that sales couldn't go ridiculous and they sell all out of their stock, right? But it's the idea that it's not necessarily going to happen. Okay, well, we are going to finish it up now before we get cut off. Have a bit of a thing of getting cut off our webinars. We ran out of time. Thank you everyone for participating in our webinar today. I really appreciate all the questions, taking the time to listen to Tyson and his presentation. I got a lot out of the presentation today. There was things I didn't know about CBD products and just the whole industry, and the detail about the difference between the cannabinoids and THC levels. It's been really interesting. I really appreciate your time, Tyson, to put that presentation together and share it with us.
My pleasure. It was a lot of fun, and I love learning about this stuff. And like I said, it gets a little scientific, and hopefully it wasn't too confusing. I tried to keep it simple, but saying the word cannabinoid 100 times, you get a little tired. So.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thank you again, Tyson. I hope you have a great afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.